This is a 1135 Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. The sponsor of coming share more Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Please call me directly. Very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Siman Yerodea, Siman Kuf Yud, of course. Yud to Yud Ches. Yud. Hello, Psuki. It's established halacha. It's established halacha, one of the least understood halachas which exist in Yerodea. Anything which is static is like it's like a fifth balanced suffix. But whether it's a stringency or leniency. It's only when we call the Arav of a Kamalab. Chazal learned it from the pasuk of if you lay an ambush for somebody and rose against him to murder him. The pasuk in front of you test Kamavur Sham as explained there in Ksubas. We had Varim Kenu, and it means like this. Torah said, we follow the majority, we incline after the majority. We follow the majority. That's when the Isser, the prohibition, is not distinctive in its place. When the Isser and Heter are mixed together. Then the Isser is nullified in the majority. Rabbanan means that Rabbanan means Batel, unless it's like a birya, chatichul iskabed, a piece that you give the guest, balichaim, a live animal, with something significant, which we have seen Rabbanan were machmir. But the Isser is distinct in its place. And the Heter is distinct in its place. You took something from them, you don't know if you took it from the Isser or from the Heter. Even at 1,000 places which contain Heter, V'achal is just one of Isser. Don't go and follow the majority. I have a Kamech. It's like a balanced 50-50 suffix. Also likes Halacha Sveika D'Oraisa, which just like any, it's like any Sveika D'Oraisa, even though it's not a balanced suffix. Excuse me. We go to we're restringent. Kula and vice versa. In even in most of the places were possibilities of Isser, B'echel and one was Mutter. For the Kocho, when you take some of there, and do Mezel L'Mokom. You don't know which place you took it. We don't go to the majority to assume that it's definitely Osir. The suffix Isser, it's like a questionable Isser. So if it's the Rabbanan, since Savi Rabbanan Kula, we're lenient. Go in addition to in Shachametz, Echel Shamatza, even if you have 9 piles of chametz, 1 pile of matzah, there's a chametz bit lu. In Ravata, the chametz, besides the bit of Amasami, which takes place of any Issa Doraisa, Rabbanan Tzar B'dika, and Rabbanan nevertheless need to check. He's a Psachim, as says we're Psachim, not no mimakam echad, and they took from a certain place. And you're doing chametz the matzah, you don't know if they took from the chametz the matzah. Have a take the Rabbanan, it's the Rabbanan, B'ochin Lakel, it's a B'dika. We don't go lenient, and we don't require checking. Chen kokaitz similarly, anything similar. Kamli Foshels Kenu, the Zeman Chubadin and Foshels, the Sham has explicitly more there. Ein Sham, I just grab a Sif, because he makuf you Dal, Sif Chav Gimel. We shall eventually see that in Mir Tzashem. Now, the Zeu Shishonu Chalchom, and that's the Chalchom taught us there in the Gemara Ksubas, Teshchanu, that's Machos Basa Shchuta. If 9 stores sell meat of a slaughtered animals, Achas Basa and one sells meat of treif animals. And you took any of them as a kach, you don't know which you took. Sveiko also. In the case of doubt, it's also. If you find something in the street, then you go after the majority. Beard varm, meaning the kavua is only when the item it was left the place of the kvius, it's the place of the static status in front of us. With that, it's 50-50. Avim lo pirishmein did not depart that static situation in front of us. El shnim tzabasim yechan yosel. Just to find meat in front of these stores. So if we don't know if it's from the kosher or from the treif, ain't done the kavua. We don't judge this with the halacha of kavua. Okay, which is learn on makam because the question did not arise in the static locations, and then we follow the majority in this case. Bosa mutar means permissible. Feel nimsa karv chanus, even if I'm closer to a store. Hatreifa, which is treif. You come a karv acharov. Let's follow the majority. The rov the karv acharov. I feel kurva the muchach. The Babasur teaches us that when you have a rov, the clarification of rov and the clarification of karov, the majority versus what it's in proximity. We go after the rov, we go after the majority, even when the kurva is clearly indicative of something. Kurva deraisa, even though kurva is also halacha deraisa, for your kurva halal, like you learn out from Egla Rufa, and the city closest to the casualty brings Egla Rufa. Nevertheless, rov is superior. There's a great question. When the kavua, when it leaves the static locations in front of us, then we don't follow the rov. Let's go after karov. Good question. If it's adjacent to a kosher store, not just kurva. It's permitted because of proximity. Since there's no majority here, which should eliminate the proximity. Places question. But the answers came to kavua adi meruba, since kavua is superior to rov, ruba di mikurva, and rov is superior to korov. Certainly, kavua overrides korov as well. That's evidently also in place. So no matter what, it's always going to be 50-50. Says that's not sufficient explanation. The who says kavua is better than rov? I told him with kavua yesh la miut kol kamar rov. So the Torah said in a static situation, the minority has the same strength as the majority. So it's like 50-50. But if it's taka 50-50, half potential for kosher, half potential treif, Korov can resolve this. Right? So make la rufa. And evidence is rufa itself. Shomar Torah says, state which is close to the casualty, Tavi Egla Rufa. We'll bring the Egla Rufa. Mark Shishnerim, Shabin Mispar, talk about where both cities are equivalent in number of inhabitants. Kisa Bagmar Shab. The proximity determines who brings it. You can't go at the Cholbar, so it's be true about everything. Mashal Mar Kavu the Alif Ruba. What does it mean that Kavu is better than Rov? Hare Kavu, no sin Koch Lamut. Kavu just props up the mute, to make it 50-50. But let it be like any other 50-50. That korov should be definitive. You can is that from the primary source of the primary law of kavua, we learned that we don't go after kavua. The came of the Kaiman, since we hold brachas and Erevin, the bidei shamayim with something which has happened at the hand of heaven, which is not deliberately measured ahead of time. You can't have two things precisely equal. Anything which a person does not intend to make precisely equal is considered to be yidei shamayim, regardless of whether it came by directly from shamayim or by a human being. So how does the Torah say when we have kavua, which left the static location in front of us, it's like 50-50. It's got to be closer to one than the other, since nothing can be precisely on the cusp of 50 of equal proximity. But it's the Torah so the Torah should have decreed that we follow the karov. So must the Torah decreed by kavua we don't go after the majority nor after proximity. So why by Egla Rufa do we follow proximity? Because there it didn't. The casualty did not leave the city in front of us. It's found in the field. It's like any other thing else which is found. We should follow the majority. So the Torah says that's when they are not equal. But when they're both equal in size, we follow karv. Because there is no kavua here. Kavua overrides anything else and makes it eternally 50-50. Yudad. Oh, the Yesh B'zeh Sheil is another question. That's a Ram the Sveka the Raisa. Torah Kula. According to Ram holds by Torah suffix. The Torah itself lets us be lenient. It's Rabbanan who said we can't be lenient. How do you have the kavua? So the Torah says every kavua is like 50-50. If I have a suffix, so it's a suffix, can't have the kul Torah. So Rambam should always be lenient. But Rambam, the answer is the Rambam concedes where there's an assumption of Isser that we don't say secular rice l'kula. The loke of not lo mishkachas lo asham toli. We never could find somebody being an asham toli. Even as a one piece, have two pieces, because something rice l'kula. So we didn't sin. Accordingly, all the poskim agree. The Rambam might have chazik. So the Rambam concedes where there is a cheskas isser for some reason. We assume that there's an isser there, which is why Simon Zeb said they're going to be able to see way later in the Simon. Of course, and it's kavua. It's chazik yisura. Can't just go because the isser is static and there in front of you. Rambam atzmo perches mishkaka shabir sham dine osham toli because of sham evidence the Rambam himself writes in laws about sham toli. The achihu mishum is kavua. The obligation to bring osham is because this is kavua sham. Koshkem be'etzim dine kavua. Certainly in the actual dine kavua that we can't be mako like any other subject daraisa. The brackets he says here ve'ein lakshos b'kedushin an gimel b'shtuke. What about the Gemara? Kedushin says by Shtuke, we don't know who the father is. Maya Marta, what do you say? Maybe she went to the town where the men were. Anytime it's a kavua, it's kemechza. So no matter how many psulim there are in the city, we assume that there's a suffix, balanced suffix, whether she went to a puzzle or a kosher. The Torah said that if that's the case, it's not. It should be a mutter because the Torah says that a definite mamzer is not allowed to enter the and marry a Jew, a suffix mamzer, but a suffix mamzer is allowed to. The ikar so we see that the lichayra we should always go the lakula, right? And any suffix of kavua. So at least me the raisa. The primary derivation, the Rambam is the Kula is from the Sugya. So we see the Kavua, Atzmo, Kavua itself, Hochin Lahakel. Oh, there's all part of the question. So we see the Kavua itself here lenient, right? So he says, Yeshomar Asam Lava Kavua Chal has suffix. So it's an interesting distinction. He says there, at the time of the Kavus, the suffix did not take effect. The suffix only develops many years later when this child comes to marry. The question whether there was a majority of Isser or a minority of Isser. Now we can make a data in Isser Kavua because Isser is not Kavua anymore. And so the question comes up, it's not Kavua. As opposed to any other is kavua. That the suffix arises in the place of the static prohibition. There it's v'duk. Interesting. Tesvav those who are at question in halacha kavua. Suppose there's a chazak leheter in the place of the static prohibited source. Could go on by taros, such as by taros. Nogam makam sheish rov taros, tuma, such as the person touched a place where most things are Torah, minority are tame. El shekvuyim come, but they're all static. They have a kemechza mechza, so it's 50-50. Imaminim at taros or cheskas taros, and we say, well, till now the taros are Torah, they can retain that chazaka on the name, or do we say hare ruba dim chazaka, rov is superior to chazaka, became a Torah b'tal, but lasa la ruba kavua, since the Torah negated the use of rov by kavua. Question is about the chazaka, so the chazaka should not work. The famous fake on makam akviyas lishtap. The same thing should be a question by a case where you have the tools fake on. Can that be used in the place of kavua? If this fake came afterwards, could go shachar decided mixed up in another mixture later on. Father, I mean, it's fake fake. We do definitely see it's fake fake. It would be close fake fake, which is part of the Shmai, follows the parameters fake fake, which we shall learn and see Flam Dalit. On them, Ima Save is fake fake, but fake fake is in the place, in the static locations. Such as you have 9 houses, 9 stores which sell kosher meat, but is a big treif, and one sells doubtful treif meat, appears vanenu, and the meat left the mokum kfilas in front of us. Me and me say the kemich is fakos. It's a double suffix where it came from and whether that itself was a tame place. Mutter is permissible. They say kemich rova poskim ruva. The even fake faker. Most poskim rova is a superior tool to fake faker. At least the same in weight. The kemich Torah silka luruba. So the Torah removed rov from makom kavua. Kosher silka says fake faker should still remove fake faker. It's the Prima Goyim he speaks about this. Tes Zayin, when he was writing near the Engan Savik. So Arukh HaShulchan says, in his opinion, there's no doubt. Based what we saw at Sifu base, Kavua Lord If Miruba, that Kavua is not superior to Rov. The name is Adifus. There's no value, no preference with that. El de Kavua, that's the Torah Koklam, you Kamar Rov. It's just that in Kavua, the Torah upgraded the minority, it should be like the majority. But having a trade Rubas, it's not so it's like two opposing Rovs. Only a possibility, except in the case of Kavua. So that makes it like 50-50. The Torah does not say that the power of the rov is eliminated altogether. So there's a chazaka to be lenient. Or it's fake feka. Or it's fake feka and there's no contradiction to them. They don't mean it. We certainly say it, even makom kavua. Madas ram is faker the rice in the Torah kula. According to Rambam, wherever that's fake the rice is mean Torah is already lenient. Cloud din kavua bes fake sveka. Shekosavnum is fake suffix trefus. You don't find din kavua at all, even in the fake sveka wrote in terms of trefus. Shari ain't is a Torah cloud. There's no Torah prohibition. It's the Rabbanan. The rabbinic prohibition. Come gam she'etzem is the Rabbanan danim b'zeh it's the kavua. Nevertheless, even this is the Rabbanan, we still should regard it with the Isser Kavua. Like we saw from the 9 piles of matzah and the 1 pile of chametz. Let's have a see if you like we saw previously. Losh and Chayv ben Vadei the Rabbanan, suffix of Torah. Let's distinguish between that something definite the Rabbanan and so unclear with the rights when it's by Sif Nun base Ayin Sham, as evidently we'll see much later. You say yes, we should the Rishon Masvech if Shalom might call Kavua have a kamechza mechza. Kavua is like 50-50. Ha'ika ruba yafidim achirav the primary source of rov is machirav natos. The kshishnayim onim tar v'echol mer tamei. When 2 people in Basin say tar, and one of them says tamei or chayav of tor to say chayav when it's potter or suramotar or permitted or forbidden. Hochin acharov for majority. V'ayas sanhedrin kvuim bim kaimon. The sanhedrin kavua where they're sitting. I'm sorry, I skipped. So the tier 2, they answered, famous answer, whatever they say, it's not kavua. It's floating in the wind. Is that the word term? What they're speaking about, not where they're sitting. That's a Mordechai. It was only when we have a question from which place you took it. With Zamra Torah, they have a kamechsa mechsa. The Torah says 50-50. Now we know from whence it came. Here we know from whence it came. We know this person said this way, that person that way. So Shabbos Saruba, and therefore you can follow the majority. But furthermore, we learn from laying an ambush. With Zamra Torah, this case, the Torah said in the actual deed of Israel, or Chayiv and Potter, or Tamei Tor, Yesh La Mil Kakarov, the minority has the same power as the majority. But something which is not intrinsic to the activity, like Sanhedrin, which are judging what happened. How's it relevant to Kavua? After we learn that we follow rope from Sanhedrin. That's a logic. I have a kavua that says the Torah, but kavua, which is a Torah, the Xeretz Kasub, ain't lucha bo el chidusha. We limit it to as much as possible. But Masha Be'etzah Ma'isa v'lo b'davar acher. I think it should have to do with the Ma'isa itself, not with the Sanhedrin who are judging it. Yud Ches. Oh, Yesh Rishonim Yudiktiku. Some Rishonim inferred the Imkoko V'Kamechza V'Mechza Dami. If every Kubba was like 50-50. Let all of Eretz Yisrael be also to plow and to plant. Mishum Nachal Eson. Egla Rufa, because we know there's at least one valley in which the Egla Rufa ritual is performed. So they're all Kavua, Shnei and that virgin valley, Nemar Ba, Loya Vev, Loya Zret, it's not about to work or planted. Because Koma, and it's static in its place. The two to the answer, the Kavua, Eno Elek She'isa Yodum in Koma Katesh Chanios. It's only when the Isser is known in its place, like 9 stores. She'adanu Achanos and Treifa. We know the Treif store. Elish HaSavihu, Ma'aloch Adil, the question is from where they took the piece. Avon Nachle Son, but the virgin riverbed, Ein Isser Yodum Leno Eifu. We don't know where it is. It's not identifiable. The Shav is a Kavua cloud, so it's not relevant to be Kavua. The fee saying the Dynamakomo, well, that's the case. If we know where the Nachal Eson was, is Hanizah B'tocha Aser. It's only planted if it's a sure Aser. You call it for any of them, many Mokam Acher. If you took rain and you don't know if it's from there or somewhere else, then Aser, it's forbidden. But I don't know, says Arukh HaShulchan, where the Shiloh begins, because I don't know that it says anywhere that you're not allowed to eat something from an Achal Eson. Why should be more forbidden than Kila Yisraim, which are Mutzadit? It's Archim. It's not clear. And that is for today.